After turning 50, have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night thinking, I used to sleep until morning, what happened to me? When you were young, you couldn't wake up without an alarm. Now your eyes open on their own at 5 a.m. You go to bed at 10 p.m., wake up at 2 a.m., and then can't fall back asleep. Is this an inevitable part of aging, or is there a problem? Here's a surprising truth. Sleeping less after 50 is not normal. Yes, you heard right. Although it's common in society, it's not considered biologically normal. Your brain still needs 7-8 hours of sleep, whether you're 60, 70, or 80. But the average 70-year-old only sleeps about 5.56 hours a night. So what's the problem? Has your sleep need decreased, or has your ability to sleep deteriorated? The answer to this question is actually hidden in a small walnut-sized region of your brain, and this answer might just change how you live the rest of your life. Don't forget to follow and turn on notifications so you don't miss our video next week about changes in body anatomy after 50. Now close your eyes and think. What was sleep like when you were young? You'd lie down, fall into a deep sleep within 10 minutes and wake up refreshed in the morning. And now? You get into bed, toss and turn for half an hour, finally fall asleep. But the sleep is so superficial that even your neighbor's dog barking wakes you up. You wake up tired in the morning, want to nap in the afternoon, but it's the same story in the evening. Scientists call this age-related sleep fragmentation. But this fancy name actually hides a very simple truth. As your brain ages, its capacity to produce sleep deteriorates. So why? Our first stop, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Yes, the name is complex, but its job is simple. This tiny structure sits right in the middle of your brain, just behind your eyes, within the hypothalamus. It contains about 20,000 nerve cells, and these control your biological clock. These cells work on a 24-hour rhythm. In the morning, they trigger cortisol release to wake you up, and in the evening, they trigger melatonin release to prepare you for sleep. But here's where the problem begins. Research shows that after age 50, neurons in this suprachiasmatic nucleus slowly start to die. By age 70, nearly 30 to 40% of the cells in this region are lost. Think of it this way. There's a clock inside your body, but some of its gears are gone. The clock still works, but irregularly. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes it stops. What's the result of this loss? Your melatonin production drops. When you were young, your brain's melatonin pump would activate as darkness fell, gently drawing you into sleep. Now that pump no longer works as powerfully. There's almost a 5 to 10-fold difference between the amount of melatonin a 25-year-old secretes at night and what a 70-year-old secretes. But the story doesn't end there. The second problem is more insidious: loss of deep sleep. You know there are sleep stages, right? Light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. When you were young, you'd spend a large part of the night in deep sleep. Deep sleep is the stage where your brain performs maintenance, repairs itself, and cleanses the day's toxins. In this stage, your brain literally goes into garbage collection mode, clearing metabolic waste between cells. Studies show that after age 50, deep sleep duration decreases by about 20 to 30% every decade. If you're 70, you might only be spending 5 to 10% of the night in deep sleep. The rest? Light sleep. So technically, you're sleeping, but your brain isn't getting real rest. Now you might say, okay, but I want to sleep. The problem isn't that my sleep need has decreased. Exactly. Your sleep need hasn't decreased. Your ability to sleep has. This is a very important distinction. A long-term study conducted at the University of California examined individuals over 60. The results are very clear. Older individuals' sleep needs are almost the same as younger people's, but their brain structures can no longer meet that need. So you still need 8 hours of sleep, but your brain can only give you 5 to 6 hours. The difference? Chronic sleep debt. What's the cost of this chronic sleep debt? Now let's get to the main question. Do you know what kind of domino effect sleep deprivation creates, especially in old age? First, your memory. Sleep, especially deep sleep, is critical for memory consolidation. Your brain records the day's experiences and learnings into long-term memory during deep sleep. When you don't get enough deep sleep, this recording process is disrupted. The increasing forgetfulness in recent years, difficulty remembering names, the it's on the tip of my tongue but won't come out syndrome. Some of these are not Alzheimer's, just insufficient sleep. In fact, studies show that chronic sleep deprivation increases the risk of Alzheimer's. Why? Because during deep sleep, the brain clears a toxic protein called beta amyloid. This protein is the main culprit in Alzheimer's. But if you're not getting enough deep sleep, this protein starts accumulating in your brain for years. Then there's your metabolic health. Sleep deprivation increases insulin resistance, meaning it raises the risk of diabetes. At the same time, mechanisms regulating hunger hormones are disrupted. Ghrelin, hunger hormone, increases. Leptin, satiety hormone, decreases. The result? Weight gain, metabolic syndrome. and the immune system. During sleep, your body produces and replenishes immune cells. Insufficient sleep means a weak immune system. If you're getting sick often after age 60, maybe the problem isn't just aging, but insufficient sleep. Now you might say, so what can I do? If my brain cells are dying, if my melatonin is decreasing, I can't change that. Here there is hope. Yes, some biological changes are inevitable, but you can still do a lot. Because the problem isn't just biology, habits also come into play. First rule, light hygiene. Your suprachiasmatic nucleus is very sensitive to light. Exposing yourself to sunlight in the morning and avoiding blue light in the evening helps synchronize this clock. Take a 30-minute walk outside in the morning. Let the sun hit your eyes. This sends a daytime signal to your brain. After 8 p.m., turn off your phone, tablet, and computer. Blue light suppresses melatonin secretion. When you're already low on melatonin after 50, you're suppressing it even further with screens. Second rule, regular sleep schedule. When your biological clock is irregular, you need to provide it with external regularity. Go to bed at the same time every day, and wake up at the same time. Yes, even on weekends. This might seem tedious, but you'll see the difference in a few weeks. Third rule, the daytime nap trap. I know you feel tired in the afternoon and want to nap, but be careful. Napping longer than 30 minutes disrupts your nighttime sleep because it reduces sleep pressure. What is sleep pressure? It's the accumulation of a chemical called adenosine in your brain for every hour you're awake. By evening, this adenosine helps you fall asleep. But if you nap for 2 hours in the afternoon, this adenosine is cleared, and your evening sleep is disrupted. Fourth rule, exercise. But be careful, timing is important. Regular exercise increases deep sleep duration. But if you exercise intensely late in the evening, it raises your body temperature, releases cortisol, and disrupts your sleep. Do your exercise in the morning or early afternoon. Fifth rule, bedroom atmosphere. Keep it cool. 18-19 degrees Celsius is ideal. Dark, you can use an eye mask, and quiet, you can use earplugs. Use your bedroom only for sleep and sexual activity. Don't watch TV, scroll on your phone or do work, do these in another room. This way, your brain codes the bedroom as a sleep place. But now to the big question, should I take melatonin supplements? Be very careful with this. Melatonin supplements can work in the short term, especially for jet lag or shift changes, but long-term use can further suppress your brain's own melatonin production. Also, the melatonin dosages sold on the market are usually unnecessarily high. While 0.3-0.5 milligrams is sufficient, dosages of 3 to 5-10 milligrams are sold. These doses overstimulate your brain's melatonin receptors and can lead to desensitization in the long run. If you are considering taking melatonin, always consult your doctor, and if you do take it, start with a low dose and use it for a short period. Now let's debunk some myths. Myth 1. As I get older, I need less sleep. False. Science does not support this. Your sleep need remains almost the same. What changes is your capacity to sleep. Accepting this myth means condemning yourself to chronic sleep deprivation. Myth 2. Daytime fatigue is a normal part of aging. Again, false. If you get enough quality sleep, you can be energetic even at 70. Daytime fatigue is usually a sign of disrupted nighttime sleep, and this can be treated. Myth 3. Sleeping pills are the solution. Partially false. Sleeping pills can suppress symptoms in the short term, but can worsen problems in the long term. Benzodiazepine group drugs, e.g. similar to Valium, Xanax, reduce deep sleep duration. So technically you're sleeping, but you're not getting quality sleep. They also carry a risk of addiction, a risk of falls, especially in older adults, and a risk of cognitive impairment. Myth 4. Alcohol helps me sleep. The most dangerous myth. Yes, alcohol can sedate you, but this is not sleep, it's sedation. Alcohol suppresses REM sleep, lowers sleep quality, and leads to waking up in the middle of the night. And as you age, the effects of alcohol get even worse. Myth 5. Snoring is normal. No, snoring is often a sign of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is when your airway gets blocked during sleep and you stop breathing. This deprives your brain of oxygen, fragments your sleep, and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. About 40% of men and 20% of women over 50 have sleep apnea, and most are not even aware of it. If you snore, are tired during the day, and wake up with a headache in the morning, definitely get a sleep test. In summary, understand this: sleeping less after 50 is not your fate. Yes, some changes happen in your brain, but you can take precautions against these changes. Light hygiene, regular sleep schedule, exercise, bedroom arrangement, sleep apnea screening. These are simple but effective steps. Perhaps the most important message is this: take your sleep seriously. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's vital for your brain, your heart, your metabolism, your immune system, your memory. After 50, your quality of life largely depends on your sleep quality. Now think, How many hours will you sleep tonight? Which habit will you change? Maybe tonight you can turn off your phone early and read a book. Maybe tomorrow morning you can go for a walk as the sun rises. Maybe next week you can ask your doctor for a sleep test. Remember, staring at the ceiling in the dark of night is not your destiny. Deep restorative sleep is your right, and there's a lot you can do to claim that right.